What's good, people? It's your boy Twale, here to bring you another review for Kingdom, chapter 590. This chapter is called All Out on Offense. And this chapter didn't have a lot of action. There was a couple battle scenes, but it wasn't really action-oriented. It was more setting up for the final climax. We start off at Osun's HQ, where damn, why do I keep forgetting this guy's name? Din Remy, right? Yeah. So, well, actually, it's a bunch of Osun's commanders and officers. They're just discussing how the right wing, Shin and them, left for battle at the first sight of daybreak. Like, the sun isn't even fully up yet, and Shin and them are already on the move, already attacking. And I'm not sure exactly who specifically said it, but they were stating that this was actually a good idea because we're so low on food, we don't have any time to spare. Attacking at the first sign of daybreak is actually a good idea. Then we switch over to Din Remy's inner monologue. And he's thinking to himself that because of the situation they're in with their food supplies and things like that, that logically speaking, Osun should have sent reinforcements to the right wing. But then he thinks about it a little bit more to himself, and he realizes that it's not that Osun doesn't want to send reinforcements, it's that Osun can't send reinforcements because of how close he and Raboku are to each other. The pressure that they're giving off, it would be too risky for either side to send reinforcements to their respective left or right wings. Now, what really caught me about this whole little segment of the chapter was the fact that Din Remy was thinking internally. He was thinking to himself about Osun's actions, yet Osun had the answer to the question he never asked. It goes both ways. What? Sir? It goes both ways. Osun is a mind reader, bro. Straight up reading minds. I know what you're thinking. Yes. But it's for them too. So then we switch over to Raboku. And Raboku is talking to some unknown dude. And I think the other guy's name was Kenmo. The other general that was under Keisha. So Raboku, some unknown dude who had a cool helmet. I'm not going to lie, his helmet was kind of cool. And Kenmo are discussing why Osun himself hasn't sent any reinforcements to the right wing, and why they themselves haven't sent any reinforcements aside from Gyo-un. Kenmo, or it might have been the other guy, I'm not even sure which one stated it, but they stated that Raboku doing nothing helped the Zhou left wing and hurt Osun in the same maneuver, because not sending anybody else to help Gyo-un and them, even though Gyo-un and them hadn't done anything significant, also kept Osun at bay. Them not depleting their main army any further kept it to where Osun had no options to make. So that was a plus. But then they start discussing how, I think it was Kane who brought this up, how they should just go ahead and attack because the only thing left is the Quinn right wing is Shin and the high Shin unit. And Raboku says, yeah, that's why we're going to win, and says something about Chogaryu's small victory against Shin will overall give them the overall victory on the Shukai Plains. And I have a problem with two things about this statement. One, Raboku, the top level genius dude, is still underestimating Shin even now. He killed Kesha, killed Mangoku, killed, what was the first, Fuki or whatever. He stopped Fute, held down the southern wall against your army. You know what I'm saying? During the coalition, during the battle at Side, Shin was the southern wall commander directly going against Raboku's main army. And beat back Hoken after all of that, and yet you're still underestimating his ability. You're still just, yeah, we got this. We gonna win no matter what because we Zhou. For someone who's as smart as Raboku has been hyped up and has been shown to be, he is very stupid when it comes to like individual characters. Like he underestimated Conky, self-admittedly underestimated Conky when Keisha lost. He underestimates Shin in almost every war. He underestimates Moten. Because he smoothed off. Moten ain't no, left wing's done. They ain't gonna do nothing. And then Moten bounced back and showed him that he was wrong. So Raboku has a thing about underestimating everyone who's not one of his guys. He puts Kesha, Sensuiju, Shibasho, he puts them on a pedestal, but then you downplay everybody else. Like when he was talking to Issei and was like, nigga, send everybody. Send Osen, Mobu, Conky, Otanwa. Send them all, and I will beat them all. But yet now, you going head up with Osen, and you're losing. Relatively speaking. Because you're winning in numbers and food, and you're winning in terms of numbers and supplies, but you're losing in terms of actual, like, on the battle achievements and effects. You're losing in terms of strategies and tactics, because I don't care what nobody say. That whole locust, fake spies, refugee shit, A1. Nothing Raboku has done can top that right now. Nothing Raboku has done so far tops what Osen just did in this war. So it's not like he's like amazingly outplaying everybody. It's like, you a step ahead of certain people, but then you downplay certain other people, which makes you break even again. So that I didn't like that. And then for him to call, like, okay, not only are you downplaying Shin's abilities and Shin's achievements in his feats, but then you call beating him a small victory as if you've been able to do it thus far. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you killed the Duke, you killed Oki. It's fucked up. But as far as Shin personally, Raboku hasn't done that much. Again, he killed Mangoku, he killed Kesha, he got away from the coalition army fast enough and long enough to get to side to hold the wall to then battle Hoken, so Raboku shouldn't really be underestimating Shin right now. And then Chogaryu, the man who hasn't dueled anybody on the fucking right wing yet, hasn't had a personal confrontation, and it's, oh yeah, my army is gonna destroy you in half a day. What? Like, I'm not sure if it was stated just like outright if Gyo-un's men were stronger than Chogaryu's men, but from what we've been shown, the High Shin unit is like the only thing that's really saving Chogaryu is the fact that his army is the most clean. From day one, he didn't fight. Day two, he tried that one maneuver. Uhon got out of it and then destroyed and then crippled Bananji's army. And then every day since that, it's been a steady battle of attrition, just wearing down numbers. So he has the cleanest army. But Gyo-un is injured. Gyo-un is injured. Gakurai is dead, and Bananji's army isn't at full strength. So every other unit or every other army on the Shikai Plains either has a notable defect to them right now, minus Chogaryu, and he's still getting wrecked, and yet he's still talking shit. So I don't quite understand where the Zhou get this confidence from, where they can get reports, yo, we're getting blown back on numerous areas, we're losing heavy numbers, heavy casualties, and he's like, yeah, just send the reinforcements, don't worry about it, we got this. It's like, what the fuck? And a quick side note, why is it every time that the High Shin unit is in trouble or doing bad, it's always Bihei's group? Always Bihei's group. It's like no matter when, but whenever we get a panel of this squad needs help, it's always somehow Bihei squad. Or if we get a Zhou report, it's like we're destroying a unit, it's always Bihei squad. I like Bihei is such a weak link to the High Shin unit that I'm waiting for Bihei to catch that glow up. I'm waiting for him to just come to the realization that he can't be a bitch no more and step his game up. I'm truly waiting for that day. But aside from those points, again, Osun's waiting for Shin to step up and finally clear the right wing so that he can make his move. Riboku is waiting for Chogaryu and Banaji and all of them to do that, you know what I'm saying, to do the same thing so that they can make their move on Osun. Shin and all of them are fighting to their, you know what I'm saying, are fighting the hardest that they can fight. And Chogaryu and his men are fighting the hardest that they can fight. That's like the main like happenings of the chapter. That's the main like action and flow pieces. Now, the most important thing about the chapter was the Kario 10 stuff, the Lieutenant N stuff, and the Shosa stuff, which is really just one thing, but from 3 different perspectives because it's 3 different characters. Okay. Now, Kario 10 at the headquarters is letting her, like, I guess they are her men. Like, she runs the HQ, so the HQ guard are her men. So she's letting her men know we're not going to worry about reinforcements. We're not going to worry about defending. We're going to solely base our movements on overwhelming offense. That's what we're going to do right now. Offense. Offense, offense, offense. No defense, no tactics, no offense. No reinforcements, just go. But in the middle of fighting, they're getting reports that, this area is looking like it's going to buckle. This area is looking like it's going to fall. This area is looking like it's going to fall. And she says, yeah, I got 2 guys for that. I gave them their orders. They're going to handle it. Now, the 2 people that she selected was Lieutenant N, because he has a great understanding of each unit's specific strengths and weaknesses, and Shosa because he has like the battlefield sense, his vision on the battlefield that they was discussing during the awakening. He has a very wide field of vision, so he can see a lot of different areas from a central point on the ground. Great. She gave them the direct orders to only save those who were necessary. In other words, don't try to save everybody. You're not going to save everybody. You're going to save the crucial, vital areas we need to keep moving forward. And I ain't gonna lie, on my first initial read through, I'm like, damn, that's kind of savage of 10. Just to say, yo, if you think you can't, if you think it's worthless, then don't even attempt. Just fuck it. So I'm thinking to myself when I first read the chapter, like, damn, this is kind of hectic to just say, yo, abandon them. You know what I'm saying? But she had to say it like that so that Shosa and Lieutenant N knew this is what is required. So they, you know what I'm saying, they do what they can to alleviate some of that pressure off of her about the casualties and how many men are about to die. And they let her know we're going to do what we can and we're going to prioritize saving as many lives as we can. So I thought that was great. That 10 is starting to, not that she's starting to like be okay with sending men to die, but she's starting to come to terms and come to grips with she's a commander, she's a war, you know what I'm saying? This is war, people are going to die. I can't save everybody. So that is a bonus, and that is I guess, character growth or characterization, however you want to call it, whatever. It's a bonus for 10, that she is finally accepting the fact that people are going to die, she can't save everybody, and she still has to get a job done. It's also a bonus for Shosa and Lieutenant N, because as they said in this chapter, they are now taking on that responsibility and that weight off of 10's back of, you know what I'm saying, people are going to die. We're going to try our hardest not to let anybody die. But again, this is war and people die in war. So I thought that was a really good scene. I thought it was really touching. Especially how like in the panels and of the scene, you can see 10 like kind of like bowing to them and like placing, like, you know what I'm saying, putting her hands, like giving them her hands, and like it seemed like a really good moment. So I really did like that. Now, this is my personal take, but it seems to me that this chapter highlighted who exactly would be those army commanders or those vice generals under Shin. And from what I've seen in this chapter, Ten and Kyokai will be his lieutenants. They will be his vice generals. Yeah, I can see that. Ten and Kyokai will be his vice generals. They will be his Mako and Akko, his wing commanders. Denyu, I want to say Garo, because we don't see that much of Gakurai, so I want to say Garo, Shosa, Sugen, and Sosui. Those will be his 5 army commanders. When everything is said and done, it may be Dene. But Denyu, Shosa, Sugen, Sosui, and either Garo or Gakurai. Gakue. Those will be his 5 army commanders, with each around 5,000 to 8,000 men under their unit, depending on how big the actual army is. But I do believe that is where Hara is flowing things to, because if you notice in this panel, Hara only highlighted a specific number of people. He told us that Kario 10 was directing everything, Shosa and Lieutenant N were defending and protecting the rear and reinforcing the positions that they can with what little men that they had left. And Shin, Kyokai, Denyu, the Dukio boys, and Sugen and Sosui's cavalries were putting in the most work on the offense. And that there was a couple other High Shin unit veterans that were like highlighted, but they didn't have like individual panels, and they didn't have panel time. So I'm going with my gut and saying that those people that I just named will be the vice generals and or army commanders under the High Shin unit. It's not really much else to talk about, honestly. After that was really everything. That was my review, discussion, whatever you want to call it. Like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good one. Peace.